In this lesson video, we are going to cover the bridge commands. Basically, the bridge commands will create polygons to connect face groups or edges or holes. Let's see how this works. In our scene, I already created two subdivided cubes. If we select this vertex here and then this vertex here, hold Ctrl, then press 3, we have 4 faces in here selected and 4 faces in here selected also. To bridge these two face groups, we can right-click and choose Bridge Faces here. We can see new faces created to connect the previously selected faces. If we press Shift-Z to go to the wireframe mode, we can see the previous faces are now gone. So this surface is continuous all the way. Shift-Z again to go back to the solid view mode. By using Bridge, we can create a tunnel in our mesh model. For example, if I select these two faces here, and these two faces also, right-click and then Bridge, we have a tunnel. Another example, if we select this vertex up here, and then this vertex down here, hold Ctrl and then press 3. Right-click and Bridge. We have something like this. Now, if you want to do the bridge operation, you need to make sure that the amount of edges in the first and in the second face group are the same. If they are not at the same number, the resulting bridge will not be all quad faces. You will have triangles in some of the areas. For example, on this side, I only select one face, while at this side, I select 2 faces. When I do the bridge command, we can see the resulting faces are triangulated. So this is something you need to be aware of. Besides faces, you can also bridge edge loops and holes. For example, if I select these edges, and then these edges also, and then right-click and choose this Bridge Edge Loops, we have bridge faces like this. For the whole example, let's go to the face mode, select this face and this face, then press X and then choose faces here. If you have holes, to bridge them, you need to be in the edge mode, hold Alt, and click on one of the edges at the whole border. Then hold Shift, Alt, and click on this edge border also. Then right-click and then choose Bridge Edge Loops. So again, bridge command works on faces, edges, and also holes. Let me reload the file so we have a fresh start. Just like before, I have 4 faces selected at this side and 4 faces selected at this side also. Let's bridge them again. After performing the bridge command, if we open the operator panel, we can see we have a lot of options here. The number of cuts value here will add more edge loops into the bridge result. If you have enough number of cuts value, you can play around with the profile factor here to make it fatter or thinner. The curve shape can be controlled by these profile shape options. We can use the twist option here to twist the bridge faces. Here, you can also use negative values if you want to rotate it in the other direction. You can see we can create different types of interesting shapes just by playing around with these values. The next more advanced values are this interpolation option and this smoothness value. Let me change these values back to the defaults. And let's have 20 cuts for our bridge, okay? Now, if we have the interpolation option set to linear, the smoothness value here will do nothing. But if we change this to blend path, dragging the smoothness value here will control the loop cuts distribution on the bridge, whether they are closer to the source faces or compressed in the middle area. Now, if we select blend surface, we get something like this. Let's drag the smoothness value here to almost 0. What blend surface does is that it tries to continue the existing surface normal around the selected faces. Because the surface is facing this way, that is why the bridge faces curve like this. It is interesting to see that these center edge loops sink into the bridge, creating a concave surface. Next are the merge and the merge factor parameters. The merge factor here only works if you have the merge checkbox turned on. Basically, the merge option will not create a bridge. but instead, it will merge the vertices of the selected faces. The merge factor determines whether the merge takes place in the first face group location, or at the center, or at the second face group location. The last option we are going to discuss is this connect loops option. But to really understand this option, we need to create a different type of bridge, and that is the multiple loops bridge. To see how the multiple loops bridge works, we need several edge loops. Let's create a circle object and change the vertices value to only 16. Essentially, circle object is just a bunch of vertices and edges connecting them, creating a round loop without any faces. Go to the edit mode and press 3 in the numpad to see our circle object in orthographic from the side view. Press R and then type 90. What we want to create now is some kind of motorbike exhaust. Place the circle here. Shift D to duplicate and right-click to cancel the movement. Move the new circle manually with the Move tool gizmo. Shift D again and right-click. Press S to scale it. Move it slightly to the right. Shift D and then press Y and then move it here. Shift D again and then move it here. Then press R, then rotate this a bit like so. Next, select the circle at the back. Shift D again and right-click. Press S to scale it down and move it slightly to the left. Shift D again, move it here, scale it up and rotate this a bit, and so on. I'll just speed up the video for now. Okay, we now have several edge loops in a form of circle shapes. What we want to do now is to bridge all of these edge loops to create the motorbike exhaust. To do that, press A to select all of them, right-click, and then choose Bridge Edge Loops here. We can see we just created a motorbike exhaust from a bunch of circles. So from this example, we know now that bridge works also on multiple targets. With this method, you can create a different variety of models, such as you can model a human digestion system from the throat, intestine, stomach, all the way until the anus. And remember, you are not bound to just using circular shapes. You can bridge circle to rectangular edge loops and vice versa, or any shape you like. Just make sure they have the same amount of edges. Finally, in the operator panel, the option we haven't discussed yet is this Connect Loops option. By default, it is set to Open Loop. If we change this to Closed Loop, we can see Blender will try to bridge the first and the last edge loops, which is not really helpful for our exhaust model. And the last option is Loop Pairs. Now, this option only works if you have an even number of edge loops. Basically, it will bridge only the odd to the even number of edge loops, and it will skip bridging the even to the odd edge loops.